We are live. What's up, everyone? What's up? What's up? What's going on?
What's up? Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up?
What's
Hope
up, Steven?
everything is well.
Yeah,
All well, man. What about you?
I can see a little smile on your face. You know. Uh,
Finally,
yeah,
I have a new laptop for
yeah,
myself.
yeah.
So,
Momentous day.
hence the
Momentous day.
hence yes, it's a remarkable day in history.
Yeah,
This will go down as one of the most historic days in
yeah.
the household of I
Exactly.
don't know, Kochuparambil household.
Yeah,
So yeah, I finally have a laptop, and
yeah,
hence the change in frames or
yeah.
whatever we call that.
Yeah, so now that Steven has got, I mean, he have now that you have bought a laptop, this actually opens doors up for us to do different content like live stream and all such things. So
We shall
this,
do watch-alongs.
yeah, so yeah, so we'll be doing watch-alongs hopefully soon. I have to just get those settings and figure out how to do stuff right. And when I do, we'll be doing watch-alongs for certain matches. Hopefully
Yeah.
sooner than rather than later because there is a big match coming up this weekend and
Yes. Yes.
that would be very very important for us to do. So that'd
Yeah.
be nice. So we'll try to do a watch along for the upcoming match that is Chelsea versus Manchester United. If we can get the set, I mean, if I can figure everything out. If not, we'll do that in the next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So with that,
Cool.
we'll get straight into what happened this weekday, and that was the Champions
Yeah.
League. And what a way to
Yes.
kick,
Yes.
kick it off, Stephen. I mean, we
I
can
know, right? I know.
we have to
I
start
know.
off with Manchester United versus PSG. What
Yeah,
a
and
way.
this was I think a miracle Paris Miracle 2.0.
Yeah,
History just repeating itself.
yeah, exactly.
And even the most diehard United fan would have never expected this result.
Yeah,
And in what fashion and
I
how?
know.
We played so well,
So well.
so well, and against the likes of people like Mbappe and Neymar,
Yeah,
and like just having them all over our pockets and all of that. Like we managed to close down a lot of their attacking threat.
yeah.
And I just have no words, man. We played really well.
I
It
would
was
go
unbelievable.
as far to say that we played so well that I haven't seen any other Premier League team play as well as we did last night. I mean, like against PSG.
Yeah, yeah, correct. That's kind of true because I mean all the Premier League teams they haven't hit that peak spot.
Yeah,
They have been struggling with their form since the inception of the new season,
yeah.
and nobody has found that sweet spot wherein they are fluid
Hmm.
football wise and everything else wise.
Exactly.
We were perfect with attack. We were
Uh,
near flawless with our defense,
yeah.
and for a very long time, De Gea
Yeah.
looked like he was that peak De Gea.
Oof.
Such amazing saves,
Oh my
and the
God.
defense was unbelievable. How good was the defense?
I mean, we were
I
so
was just so
perfect.
happy.
We were so
I
perfect that
was so happy to see the
even the
defense.
goal that PSG scored was because we
It
considered
was
our
an
own
own
goal.
goal. It was an
That's how
own goal.
perfect we
Yeah.
were. That's how good we were.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my
Yes.
God. It was such an amazing match to
Amazing.
watch.
Amazing game.
Yeah. I have been burned so many times watching the Champions League matches because I mean in India we get our matches here at like 12:30 a.m. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
kind of like you're sacrificing your sleep for football and I've been burned so many times but this time was so
It was
worth it.
worth it. It
So
was
worth
such
it.
sweet football. It was such beautiful football that literally, and when Rashford went on to score the winner,
Yeah.
I just yelled at the top of my voice.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my mom didn't come out of her room and, thrashed me. So, yeah.
I mean, I would say I mean, like all over the team, all the players played really, really well. If you had to nitpick, I would say the person who scored as the winner, he wasn't at his best throughout the night,
Yeah.
but he
Yeah.
did produce that one piece of magic to win the game.
Yeah, I think the only sort of blip in the whole thing was Rashford and Martial's performance.
Yeah,
I mean, if you discount Rashford's goal towards the end, Rashford had so many sitters of the
yeah,
chance. Like he
yeah,
had so many, opportunities and simple opportunities which he should have converted for the caliber of player that he is.
yeah,
And Martial again, man, like sometimes when he dribbles and all of that stuff, he looks world class. But sometimes he just makes silly errors.
yeah,
Like, I was discussing with my fellow Man United friends, and they were just pointing out the fact that how silly both of them are when it comes to decision making sometimes.
yeah, yeah,
Right? Right? Like, you just have to take that simple route and make a very simple decision, but then they will end up doing some fuck all mistake and, cost
true.
the chance.
True.
That's basic football. Like you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's at least something that you can correct. It's
Yeah.
not like you cannot improve on that factor.
Yeah.
Like if you discount all of that, otherwise it was a near flawless performance, near perfect performance.
True. And also, I would
The
say that
midfield and the defense was unbelievable.
I was skeptical.
Unbelievable.
I was skeptical when
Yeah.
McTominay was in the team, but he did a pretty good job. Like not like the best job that he could do, but he did a pretty good job. Not
He
bad.
did all right.
Yeah.
I mean, like both of us, like we were discussing in the previous episode that we were kind of surprised when the lineups were announced that it was a 5-3-2 formation because we did expect Ole to field a 3-5-2 formation, not a 5-3-2 formation.
Yeah.
And because it was such a defense heavy tactic, we never expected United to score 2 goals and play such good attacking football. Like whenever they countered with finesse.
Yeah.
Almost all the passes were connected.
Yeah.
All the passes were completed properly.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was hardly any mispass and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just so beautiful to watch. This result was totally unexpected.
But I would say, like, obviously coming into this game, a single person, if they could criticize something about United, they would say that our defense is like the worst that they have ever seen. But oh my God, I mean, Aaron Wan-Bissaka had Kylian Mbappe in his pocket and he took him home to Manchester.
I think this was probably the best performance of his Man United career.
Yeah,
I have never seen Bissaka. I think I don't know if this is a logical ask or a logical petition to ask for. But I think, do you think Wan-Bissaka should play as a centre back?
Yeah, me too. Same. Yeah,
because he was just almost Nemanja Vidic like.
Yeah.
The freaking tackles and the challenges that he made, so beautiful to watch. Like if you're a defense-minded player yourself, or if you really like what the defenders do, like the lunges that they make, the tackles and challenges that they do, Bissaka's tackles were so clean and so perfect that you cannot argue at all. It was so pleasing. So pleasing to the eye. I mean, it's quite clearly established that going forward, attacking-wise, he is one of the worst in the Premier League.
Yeah,
but defensively, it's been established since the beginning that he is an absolute beast.
Yeah, true. And also, like I would say, like this season we didn't get a defender, especially a left-footed centre back. And a lot of people were saying that let's play Luke Shaw in that position, and maybe then Telles can play in the left back position. I would say that let Bissaka play as a centre back. I mean, because it doesn't matter if it is right or left. He just goes into the tackle and he takes the ball away from the attacker.
He can. So Maguire is our go-to right-footed centre back right now. So we can like take some risk and swap the position and maybe ask Wan-Bissaka to play as the right-footed centre back and bench Maguire for a while.
Yeah.
Let's just see how it goes, because this is something, I don't know, that I really feel that can yield at least some sort of result. Like we'll see, like in the short run, how it pans out. And if it is not working out, we'll go back to the original formation.
Yeah.
But Wan-Bissaka, man, what a beast. What a guy, dude.
I think he won the man of the match, or he should have won the man of the match. I'm not sure if he did.
Who won the man of the match? Was it Fred?
I think it might have been Rashford or maybe Bruno Fernandes. I'm not sure. Let me check.
Okay. Because even Fred had an unbelievable game.
Yeah, exactly.
He cut out almost 80 to 90% of the attack that that was initiated from the from the PSG side.
Yeah.
He was so good as the holding midfield.
Exactly. I mean, I can't seem to find it. But anyways, whoever it was, I feel like Aaron Wan-Bissaka should have won the man of the match for sure.
Wan-Bissaka, and we also have to talk about Axel.
Oh my God!
What an amazing performance for somebody who was injured, who missed out on footballing game time for almost a year.
Yeah.
So he hasn't played for United in almost a year. And with that, coming into an important game like this, and that too against the likes of Mbappe and Neymar.
Oh my God!
And absolutely bossing Mbappe, just like Wan-Bissaka, Tuanzebe had him in his pockets.
Yeah, for sure. Like there was one instance where Mbappe actually had a run towards our goal and he chased him down.
We all know Mbappe is one of the quickest in the world. In the whole of world football. Yeah. This guy matched him feet to feet, step to step.
Oh my God.
And so coolly dispossessed them of the ball. It was such a treat to watch. It's
like the defense, the goalkeeper, the attackers, everyone were in perfect sync. And that was what was absent with PSG. Like there was nothing. There was no like team play. No one knew where to go, where to pass. That was non-existent.
Yeah. And even their positioning wasn't aligned
Yeah,
as they would have liked it to.
yeah,
Like a lot of times, Neymar obviously is given the freedom to roam around. Across the pitch and wherever he wants to. Like, but when he does that, he also puts other people out of their positions. For
yeah.
example, Kimpembe for most of the match. No, I wasn't Kimpembe. Yeah, Kimpembe or Kuzawa. I think Kuzawa for most of the match was playing as a left winger,
Okay.
and the people who were holding the role, who were acting as a double pivot, had to come back to clean up what the space whatever Kimpembe had left.
Mm-hmm.
So that proved fatal for PSG, because like whenever that gap was established,
Rashford.
Rashford with the space, he always used to attack him,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's how he found out a lot of space where he missed a couple of chances.
Yeah, true. And I would say that, like, I think PSG, we saw what's PSG's hindrance, or what negative that goes with that team is, and that is they depend too much on individual brilliance, and especially on
Yeah,
Neymar and Mbappe. And also these people, I mean, you could give some credit to Mbappe, but not Neymar. Like, these aren't the players where you need to depend everything on a match. Like, if there are players like Vidic, Carlos Puyol, or Pirlo, these are the kind of players where you could, depend on their individual brilliance, because they know how to carry the team forward. They know
yeah,
how to motivate the team. But I would say that, like, one of the main instance that this shows that, the lack of teamsmanship in the PSG team setup, or the mentality in that team, was like when Rashford scored his goal, he actually accelerated into the space, right?
yeah.
Neymar was actually running at Rashford. I mean, was actually going to close down Rashford. But when he saw him going forward, he just stepped back. He didn't even go towards the goal.
Okay.
He stepped back towards the goal. This is what I noticed. I think I was watching some analysis show, and they actually pointed this out, where he actually
Uh-huh.
stepped back from it. Like, he was jogging all the way towards Rashford, and Rashford still had the ball. If there was any other midfielder, they could have closed him down. But instead, Neymar actually pulled out from that challenge, and then
That
Rashford went on and scored that goal.
you're talking about the winner that Rashford
Yeah, yeah,
scored,
yeah.
no? Where
Rashford scored
Pogba
that goal.
assisted him
Yeah,
from the
exactly. Yeah,
left.
that one. Yeah, yeah. I mean, this shows, like, they're so, like, even the coach, he depends on the individual brilliance of Neymar,
He actually is a very good
Mbappe.
coach.
Yeah, I
He
know.
was really good at Dortmund.
Yeah,
But again, I think when you have people like
yeah,
Neymar and all, who's going to listen to you? I
exactly.
mean, nobody will listen to you. And Neymar
Yeah,
will never listen to you.
yeah.
He just does whatever he feels like.
I think
So I
I
don't
mean,
know.
the only people who he would listen to are the owners. I don't even think even the coach would have the say on what Neymar does, and what he needs to do on and off the pitch. So I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, that's what you expect. And this show, even the final that PSG got to last year, like, they didn't have really difficult teams to beat to, except for, I would say, Leipzig. Other than that, there
No,
were
but they really did well against Bayern. They
yeah,
pressed Bayern, and
yeah,
they gave Bayern a tough time.
yeah,
Actually, I still feel that PSG could have taken the game if they had little more intensity, but they actually played really well.
yeah.
Bayern found it a little difficult to play. I mean, sustain them and control them.
Yeah, but I would say, like, that's like
Again,
a
yeah,
one-off. I would say, like,
yeah,
how
sure.
PSG are, like they're the most famous bottlers when it comes to Champions League. They always get knocked out in the round of 16,
Along with
or
Man City,
yeah, exactly, or the quarterfinals. So both the Saudis,
yeah,
they are famous for that. So I would
it's yeah.
say, yeah, I think
I
this
mean,
showed
like every
perfectly.
fan says that PSG is full of oil money,
Yeah,
and you only sink in oil if you don't have
exactly.
a proper manager. You
Yeah,
need to have a boss manager, like
yeah,
who's an absolute fierce beast, like Sir Alex Ferguson,
yeah,
or for example, like Klopp, or
yeah,
maybe even a Bielsa,
yeah,
who has that impounding effect, on
yeah,
the team, where if a word is said, you blindly obey that.
yeah,
That's what you do,
yeah.
and
True.
you can't boss over the manager.
And
Like I'm
also,
not saying we are
yeah,
not
yeah.
saying that PSG players does that to kill, but then I don't know.
Yeah, and also, one last thing, we have to give credit to Ole. Like, his tactics was spot on. The only thing
Yeah,
that I would say, that he could have bought Van de Beek early on, but no, I mean, we
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
get
yeah.
the win. So yeah,
Because
I hope we could see him in the Chelsea
nobody would
game.
have thought that we would have. We would have fielded this with
Yeah,
this lineup,
yeah,
and above all, nobody would have expected us to do so well with that
yeah,
starting lineup.
yeah.
So no complaints.
And
But Van de Beek should be starting
true,
for
and
the caliber, for the potential he has. He should be starting.
yeah, and I would say that instead of starting Matic, I would say start Fred, because Fred was so good. I mean, he was taking the ball away in the midfield from like Neymar, from I think it
Yeah.
was Herrera too. Like he was putting in those tackles, he was recovering balls from the other team. He was also
Yeah.
so good. The thing with Fred
Yes.
is
Yes.
he has to be given more game time, and that's how I
Hmm.
think he improves on his game. And we got to
Yeah.
see that. I mean, we got to see the kind of player that he is. You know, when he played for Shakhtar Donetsk, I think that's
Hmm.
what he could be for Manchester United as well. But all in all, I would say like Oli got it right. I mean, there was, I
Yeah.
think, but
Now Ole is just going to extend his contract for another 10 years.
exactly,
This
like
this
the thing with Ole is like
this
every
will
single time.
this will just encourage the owners and Ed
Yeah,
Woodward to sign him for the next 10 years.
I think after the match, I think Ed Woodward came out saying that he's still backing Ole and the
Yeah, he
summer.
is defending him.
Yeah, he's defending him, and even he defended the lack of summer signing as well, which I don't even get. But I think this is the thing about Ole, right? Like whenever he seems like he's gonna get fired from his job, he comes back and goes into that run.
It's just an Ole thing. Just an Ole
Yeah,
thing.
I just want him to find that consistency and keep on developing it because he showed like tactically he was pretty good in this match, and he should show that in every single match that plays from now onwards. So let's see
Yeah.
how it does because going into the next week match, I mean, we will do a prediction on it. Going into the next week's match, we have the momentum right now, so it would
Yeah.
be good to see what we're gonna do. But I would say right now, don't put Maguire in the next match. Like
Yeah.
keep him
Yeah.
out for
Yeah.
like for 4 or 5
Maguire is
matches.
injured, no? Maguire is injured, right?
I think that's the
Yeah,
I
that's
think
why
that's
they
the
didn't play
excuse.
him.
Yeah, I think
That's why
that's the excuse.
yeah,
Maybe an
that's the
excuse.
excuse. That's why
Yeah,
they didn't name him.
maybe an and also
So I mean,
finally
we'll just
to
hope that he's injured
yeah
for a while.
finally to finish it up, Steven. How good as a captain was Bruno,
Oh man,
right?
man, just seeing that armband on him
Yeah,
made me happy. I
and
think half the game was won because he had the armband. Armband.
yeah, and the
I mean,
penalty
this might
too.
be quite an exaggeration, but this is what I feel.
Yeah, and the penalty.
Oh man, that was. But wait, that's a matter that's a thing to ponder about. Huh?
Yeah,
Like that's a reason for concern. He's missed two consecutive penalties.
yeah,
That technique has to go, in my
yeah,
opinion. That is
yeah.
such a fuck all technique.
But still he
You can
scored.
screw up.
Still he scored
Yeah,
after that.
yeah, I know. But
Yeah,
two consecutive penalties you've missed,
yeah,
and yeah, but like you can't really blame. I mean, the referees reversing the decision because Keylor Navas was clearly off by his line by a mile.
yeah.
It was a huge
It
gap.
wasn't
So it was
like that De Gea
yeah,
De Gea's
it wasn't
decision.
like that De Gea's
Yeah,
error.
against Crystal
So
Palace.
this was I think fair, a
Yeah,
fair result, a fair decision
yeah,
in reversing and awarding United a retake.
yeah,
And
yeah.
thankfully he converted it. I was
And
thinking maybe Rashford is going to take the second
yeah, and
kick.
also that showed character in Bruno as well, like taking the penalty again and having that
Yeah, yeah.
confidence to take the penalty again. That's a true leader.
I think he already has that, sort of that aura in the dressing room. I'm
Yeah,
sure a lot of people don't like him because
yeah,
of his perspectives and his opinions.
yeah,
I like there are rumors that he has a spat with Pogba,
yeah.
who is again one a very influential figure in the dressing room,
Mm-hmm.
and is quite on good terms with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that is going to work towards both of their favors because both of them are equally amazing players. Like I
Yeah,
mean, despite the errors that Pogba has committed, Pogba is still a world-class central midfielder.
yeah,
So I mean, like it's kind of not good for even the United fans and for the atmosphere in the dressing room when there are two different camps altogether in the
yeah,
dressing room.
yeah. True,
So
true, true,
hope that
true.
is. I mean, hope there is nothing like that.
Yeah,
But then Bruno, I think, is the captain for the future.
for sure, for sure, for sure. I would say he is the captain for this United right now because I don't want anyone else to take up that
Yeah,
armband.
he shows it on the pitch that he wants to play for the shirt.
Exactly, exactly,
It's
exactly.
clearly evident.
Yeah, but yeah, hopefully, like everyone were amazing, and there is nothing else to say, man. Overall, like an amazing performance by
A near
United.
perfect performance.
Yeah,
Near
for
perfect.
sure, for sure, for
Except
sure.
that own goal, it
Yeah,
was flawless.
yeah, true, 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 true. So with that,
Also props to De Gea,
oh yeah,
because some of the saves that he made was just insane,
yeah,
insane.
yeah.
Like
But
De Gea was
but after that
not
match, I
wrong.
kind of felt bad for Dean Anderson because he's also a top class keeper,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
him
yeah.
on the
Because
bench.
yeah, we
Yeah,
did expect that Ole would field Henderson at
yeah,
least in the Champions League and in the
yeah,
domestic games.
yeah.
But hey, we are not complaining as long
I
as the team does well. It's fine.
no, yeah. I'm just saying I kind of feel for that guy. He's such a world class
Yeah, yeah,
keeper,
yeah.
and him on
Same,
the
same,
bench.
same. I
Yeah,
really hope he gets some game time
yeah,
because he is
exactly.
too good to be a keeper on the bench.
Exactly. That's the thing. That's the thing. He's too good. That's the problem.
I
But
hope he just doesn't turn into another Romero.
yeah, I don't want that. Okay. So with that, we'll move on to the next one, and this is a
Yeah.
disappointing to all the Chelsea fan. That is Chelsea versus Sevilla. Draw.
Yeah,
It was a
it was a
draw.
very bad game.
It
Very
was
bad game.
a
Chelsea had a
yeah,
lot of games. I didn't watch the game, but I
yeah,
did see like an 8 or 10 minute clip of highlights, and
yeah.
Chelsea seemed to have a lot of chances. Werner seemed to have a lot of chances, and they
Hmm.
kind of bottled it.
Yeah, and this is great news for United fans. We coming, especially coming up against them in the next match.
That
I
confidence and that momentum
Yeah, I
will
hope it is
definitely
down.
affect
I
you.
hope it is down when they play us. I hope it is still down.
Yeah.
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 So nothing
I
much to
mean,
talk about.
like we did you see the game? I can't comment on the game because I didn't watch the whole game.
No, even I saw
I
on the
like
highlights. That's it.
the only Champions League game I watched was United and PSG's. Even
Yeah,
yesterday's games I didn't watch.
yeah.
So
I think other than that, I think I also watched Lazio versus Dortmund. That was a pretty
yeah,
good
yeah,
match
yeah.
too. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think Immobile. I just can't understand how that guy keeps on playing, dude. And he's 36 or 37 years old,
yeah, something
and
like
he
that.
still plays like he is like a Ronaldo or something.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
such a good striker, a very underrated striker. Not so many people like he consistently scores 20 and 25 plus goals in most of the Serie A seasons.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. He just doesn't get that credit because he plays for Lazio,
Yeah, I mean
but
Lazio were
otherwise he's a
so
very good
good
one.
and Dortmund were
Yeah,
like so bad. I mean not bad there, but they were disappointing. They weren't at their best. But the only solace I would say when it comes to Dortmund was Haaland scored that match. I mean that guy's
Haaland
on
scored. Yeah,
fire. Like he's on a
yeah,
hot run of form, and we should have signed him, and but we didn't. I mean,
yeah.
I hope we
I
get
mean,
him
we
in the
missing out
future.
on him is just Woodward being Woodward. So
Exactly. Yeah, I hope we get him if we could in the future because he looks like he could be one of the best strikers in the world for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's on his way to that.
Yeah, exactly. And we can talk a little bit about this. It's not like a huge result, but Barcelona won
Barca,
5-1
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, against
But initially in the
Fenerbahce.
first half,
Yeah,
I can't even. What's the name of the team?
I don't. I think it's
Yeah,
French Wars.
Fenerbahce.
Fenerbahce.
Fenerbahce or
I
something.
don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so for the fuck of it, we are just going to call it Fenerbahce.
Fenerbahce.
So
Yeah,
like initially, I think the first 20 or 30 minutes, they outclassed Barca
yeah,
actually.
yeah,
They hit the woodwork, I think, once or twice,
yeah,
and they were attacking well and all of that stuff. But then
yeah,
again, Barca, and this is something that we have to consider that like after that thrashing,
yeah.
after that mauling that they got at the hands of Bayern, after
Mm-hmm.
that 8-2 thrashing,
Mm-hmm.
all of us thought that this is the end of Barca and all of that stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And with Ronald Koeman, like
yeah,
they've just come back as a reinvigorated team, like a
yeah,
fresh team, and they've been
yeah,
playing well,
yeah.
like
They have.
surprisingly.
Yeah,
And most of their teammates, I mean, most of the team is very, very young.
yeah.
You look at Ansu Fati, you look at Trincao,
Dembele.
you look at Dembele.
Yeah,
Dembele surprisingly came off the bench and played well and
scored.
went on to
Yeah,
score a goal.
yeah,
And you look at De Jong, like it's mostly young players,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And fielding 50, 60, 17, 18, 19-year-olds in a Champions League game is
Mm-hmm.
again a statement that you're telling that, this is what we are looking at the future.
True, true, true.
And I don't know, like they played really well, man.
Yeah,
It was nice to
true.
see. I mean, Coutinho is someone who I absolutely love.
So
I've
good.
enjoyed him. Even though he
Yeah,
was Liverpool, I
yeah,
always enjoyed him. Like when he was in the Premier League, he was one of my favorite players.
yeah,
So it was
true.
so disappointing to see him going to Barca and him failing like that. But now it's so nice to see that,
Mm-hmm.
the Coutinho that we know is back. He went
Yeah,
to Bayern, established himself there. He came back and now
rejuvenated.
playing well.
Yeah, true, true, true,
Yeah,
true, true.
yeah,
So with that, we'll move on to the team that we are gonna play next, and that is Leipzig. Leipzig won 2-0 against Istanbul.
yeah. It was a very
Besiktas.
good game.
Yeah, 2-0.
Very good game.
2-0,
Yeah.
two goals that I think it was scored by Angelino. Really,
Mm.
two really.
Yeah, yeah.
They could have easily scored more than two goals, dude. Like, no problem.
Mm, mm.
They could have easily
True.
scored more than two goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it
I didn't
was
see the game, so I can't. But I did see both the goals, and both the
yeah,
goals are fantastic.
yeah, true, 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 true. And yeah, nothing much to talk about. They look like a threatening team. They look like I mean, they look still a strong team compared to last season. So hopefully
Mm.
we do as good as how we performed against PSG, and hope we do well against Leipzig as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So with
Yeah.
that, we have to talk about a shocker, and that is Real Madrid versus
Yeah.
Shakhtar Donetsk.
Yeah,
Too.
Shakhtar of all people, like they
Yeah.
are like the bunnies of City. City always managed to get them somehow in their Champions League games.
Exactly. I mean, like I was getting the notifications in my phone. Like I wasn't watching the match. I think I started watching the match around the 70th minute mark, and I was like,
Hmm.
okay, Real Madrid is just scoring goals like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I mean, switched on my TV, and when I was watching the match, it was like 3-2, and it was Shakhtar, and Shakhtar was
I think
dominating the match.
Shakhtar managed to score 3 goals in the first half alone.
True, true. Like I would say, Real Madrid did dominate the match, but Shakhtar again, like they used their chances properly and they counterattacked Real Madrid at the right time, and they didn't waste any balls at all. Like they properly used the balls in possession and also in attack and scoring them. But Real Madrid looks so lost. Like they didn't even know where to pass, what to do. Like the goals that they scored too. Like one was a long range by Modric, and another was like individual brilliance and an error as well by a goal was scored by Vinicius Junior. But other than that, they didn't
Uh-huh.
score any goal from open play or even passing it through the park. Like they didn't do anything such things like that. And it was all like Shakhtar actually deserved that win. So I would say credit to Shakhtar.
Uh-huh. Okay, nice.
Yeah,
I didn't even watch the highlights, so I
really.
can't comment at all.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
saw the
yeah,
Modric goal,
yeah.
and that's about it.
Yeah, but I would say this actually kind of like goes into the argument. Like a lot of people say that Zidane actually is not that good of a coach, and the only reason why
Yeah,
he won that three Champions League is
like
because
if
of the
you
team.
yeah. Like I've heard like proper Madrid fans say that
Yeah,
Zidane is a fuck all coach.
yeah,
I mean, like tactics wise, but
yeah,
he again is a good man manager,
yeah, yeah,
like how Sir Alex was.
yeah, yeah,
And he's told earlier that I'm okay with the players that I have right now, and
yeah.
I'm just going to work with that. He's
Mm,
not going to crib about the lack of players that they have and all that stuff,
yeah,
because at the moment they are going through a severe financial crisis because they are financing for the renovation of Saint Bernabeu,
yeah,
and so hence they couldn't make any big name signing this transfer window, and that's why they're looking at transfers next season. I mean, in the next window, maybe in
mm,
the winter window. So Zidane said that I'm happy with the team that I have right now. I just
mm.
want to improve this team, and it's okay if I don't get any players this time. He made it very clear.
Okay.
So like he's been a very good man manager. Like if you minus the situation with Bale,
Yeah,
otherwise he's managed the team pretty well, is what I feel.
yeah, and but they are on a really bad form. Like I don't see
Yeah,
the team like how Real Madrid usually is.
there is clearly that impact of Ronaldo leaving. Like there is
Yeah,
no proper replacement for Ronaldo, and
yeah,
when Ramos isn't there, Rafael Varane, he just
uh,
looks like an absolute dump fuck,
yeah,
right? Like
and we are thinking
Sergio
of buying
Ramos
him.
is the guy who pulls the team together
Yeah,
when
exactly.
like when I mean after Ronaldo.
Yeah,
So Ronaldo isn't there. I mean Hazard was bought in to replace to be like he was regarded as the direct replacement to Ronaldo, and
yeah,
we all know what has happened with Hazard.
yeah,
So it's just sad to see. I mean, one of the biggest club, probably the biggest club,
yeah.
and the most successful club in a state like this.
True, 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 true.
But I've always hated Real Madrid, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I haven't
So I'm
hated Real Madrid, but I don't like them seeing. I mean, see them win. So yeah,
yeah.
there's that. Yeah,
I don't like both those teams,
yeah,
Madrid and Barca.
yeah. I would rather cheer for Atletico Madrid than Barcelona or Real Madrid.
Atletico Madrid, I wouldn't cheer because their football is one of the most boring football. It's
Hey,
so boring, man.
but if they beat Barcelona or Real Madrid, I'm like happy with that.
Yeah, we won't be complaining.
Yeah, exactly. So Real Madrid with a shocker, and then moving on to Liverpool versus Ajax. Liverpool
Yeah,
slightly edged with a one goal win,
yeah,
but I would say it
yeah.
was so unfair for Ajax. Like they were clearly
Oh,
the
is
better
it?
team, clearly the better team.
Uh-huh. Okay. I mean, who's left? Who's left in Ajax? Who's like a big name, talented kid who's in Ajax?
There is Promise, Quincy Promise,
Okay.
uh,
He's a
Sergio,
Portuguese kid, right?
yeah, Sergio Tagliafico. Uh, who else is there? There are a lot of players still. Like they have so many kids who in the squad. I think there is another winger. I think his name is something. Oh, they have their goalkeeper as well. What's his name? Oja something. His name is.
No idea.
Yeah, they have a pretty good squad, dude. I mean, they have veterans also like Blind, Klaassen. Uh,
Klaassen, I know. David Klaassen came back this season.
yeah, exactly,
Blind
and
also.
Tadic as well. Oh yeah, Neres. Yeah, they have Neres. He's another promising kid as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they have pretty good players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Onana, their keeper, yeah, he's also pretty one of the best keepers in Europe. Actually, he's pretty good.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So, but I would say like Liverpool were so lucky because Ajax actually hit the post twice and still couldn't
Ah,
score the goal. Yeah.
oh,
Liverpool were
that's nice,
actually
man.
very lucky. Like the only, I mean, I think they made the substitution around the 70th minute or the 80th minute where they took off Salah and Mane as well. And then they bought in
Got
Jota.
Minamino
Yeah, Minamino and
and
Jota.
Minamino.
Yeah, and they took out Firmino as well. And they bought Jota, Minamino and Shaqiri, and that's when they started to play
Uh-huh.
really well. Like that's where there
Okay.
was energy, the ball was moving up and down the pitch and they were trying to make chances. But other than
Yeah.
that, like they were very, very lucky to get a result away from it. Like
Who scored for Liverpool?
I think it was wait, let me think. I think it was an own goal. No, it was an own goal. Yeah, it was an own goal.
Oh man, really?
It was an own goal by
That's so sad.
Tagliafico. Yeah. It was a
That's so
very
sad.
unlucky. It was a deflection, and then it was an own goal. Yeah, yeah. It was a very unlucky own goal.
Oh
Like
my
I
God.
said, they clearly didn't deserve the loss from Liverpool. Like Liverpool I wouldn't even say they should have drawn with Liverpool. Ajax should have won that game because that's how good they were. Liverpool, the cracks are starting to show. Like
Yes.
their defense
Yes.
is not as good.
Yep. They are playing Sheffield next.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I don't know if I should captain Salah. I think I can captain Salah in
yeah,
my. We'll talk about FPL also. We'll
yeah,
get to that. We'll
yeah.
finish. We'll wrap up the Champions League thing soon. Come on.
Exactly. So I don't, yeah, and also like, I mean, Van Dijk is such a huge influence in that team. Like I heard that
Oh
they are
yes.
actually going after Upamecano as a replacement for Van Dijk. So in the
Okay.
next
Because it
summer,
looks like Van Dijk is out for at least 7 or 8 months, and
yeah,
that's very, very sad.
yeah, exactly. So I
That's
think
really sad.
they're going after Upamecano because they don't have two good centre backs. They have one Van Dijk. Either they play Fabinho or
Yeah, I
Matip.
think.
Yeah,
I mean, Fabinho is like a makeshift centre back, but
exactly.
otherwise, the rest of the options that they have are absolute fuck all.
Yeah,
I mean, Joe Gomez has some promise,
yeah.
but he does silly mistakes and he makes some simple
He needs
errors.
time. He
And
needs time.
Matip is horrible again.
Yeah,
So I don't see anybody else. And there's one defensive. I'm sorry. There's this Greek guy,
Lovren.
that they signed. No, Greek guy, from Olympiacos or something. They signed
Uh,
him this window. I forgot how do you pronounce his name, but he's from Greece. He is supposed to be a centre back, I think.
really.
So they can use him maybe.
Okay. I don't remember.
It's his name starts with T.
T.
Yeah, T is silent. Sitsika something. It sounds like it sounds like Tsitsipas's name. Stefano Tsitsipas's name.
Okay. Uh, I don't know who you're talking about. Greek defender.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if he's a defender or.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
see. There's this Greece player that they signed.
I don't think so. I'm not able to find anyone. But he's pretty old. I think he's a 41-year-old defender. I think that they signed.
What? No,
I think so.
I don't think so.
Liverpool have completed the long-term signing of left back Kostas Simikas. Is that
Yeah, that's the
Olympiacos?
guy. That's the guy. That's the
Oh,
guy.
okay.
That's the guy.
Yeah,
Kostas
24-year-old Greece international. Yeah.
Yes, that's the guy.
Yeah, okay. But he's a left back. He's a left back.
Asha, okay.
Yeah. Maybe like a substitute for Robertson.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So with that, we'll move on to the next game, and that is and that is I think City versus Porto, right?
Yeah, City managed to
Yeah.
get a 3-1.
I actually thought they're gonna lose because I think Porto have gotten a result away from them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean in the previous years, I think even Porto have gotten result away from City, and I thought maybe they might upset City because
Okay.
Porto actually played really well in the first half, but in the second half, I don't know if Pep said something to the team. They came out like a different team, and they like were attacking like the old City that we knew, and they just
Okay.
scored the 3 goals that they needed.
Oh, they scored all the 3 goals in the second half.
I think they scored 1 goal in the first half, which was a penalty. And then the rest two was scored in the second half. Like I said, they were like a different team in the second half. I don't know what Pep told them, but they were completely different.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it was good. But all in all, City, they played really well. They deserved the win.
Nice.
And
Okay.
then Inter Milan versus Mönchengladbach. Did you see that?
Oh, I didn't even know that there was a match between Milan and Gladbach.
Yeah, there was. So it was a
Wow,
draw
nice.
actually.
One
It was a draw. Lukaku got 2 goals.
man, what has
Yeah,
happened to Lukaku?
yeah,
Okay, like, do you know there's this interesting fact about Lukaku? Okay,
yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
my friend who's a United fan, he told
Uh-huh.
me this a few weeks ago when we were discussing about United's recruitment policy, the medical team, and all that stuff. So apparently, when Lukaku was at United, he was being made fun of his weight and him missing him taking bad touches and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people were saying that he's fat and all that stuff, right? So apparently, he had some kind of a disorder here at
Okay.
United. He was
Okay.
suffering from some health problem, okay,
Mm-hmm.
something related to eating disorder or some anxiety, some shit like that, okay. I forgot what that disorder was. And none of the United medicals, United doctors or United medical, any staff from the medical team detected that.
Okay.
Nobody could identify that threat. Then he went. Then when he moved to Inter Milan, when he was
Mm-hmm.
having his medicals, there the Inter Milan doctors they identified it immediately and they told him that you've been having this problem. And apparently Lukaku didn't even know about that.
Okay.
So then they treated him accordingly, and he took medications and he treated himself for all of that stuff, and now he's better. Now he's completely
Is
fine.
this true or is this a rumor?
I don't know. Like my friend told me, I can't really give a valid source for this. He just told me of this.
Okay.
I forgot. I didn't ask him for the source and all of that stuff. But
No,
if
no.
that is the case,
Yeah.
it's actually it's shambolic that our medical team can't even identify a basic threat.
But I mean, when he's playing for Inter Milan, I mean, I don't see anything physically different about him. It's just that the team that is playing around him is
No,
focused or
yeah.
centered to
But
Lukaku.
I'm just illustrating the fact that our this is how bad the medical team is.
Ah, okay. Because I don't know if that is true. Because I don't know if your friend was telling a
Yeah,
fact
even
or a
neither do I.
rumor.
My friend just gave me this. He shared this trivia with me, so I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. But they drew the match, so pretty okay, I would say Inter Milan. Because let's see what they do in this season. I hope Inter Milan comes back to the European glory that they were back then. It would be exciting to see them play.
Yeah, but it really all the United fans have to take it with a pinch of salt that
Yeah.
Lukaku of all people
Yeah.
has become like this phenomenal striker,
Yeah.
like almost Ronaldo-esque. Like I'm
Yeah.
talking about the border Ronaldo. He's almost
Yeah.
become that level. He's just become too lethal.
Yeah, but I think
So that is
the way
like
that Inter Milan plays, I think suited for Lukaku. I think that's why he's
yeah.
playing so well.
Conte is an amazing manager, dude.
True, true, true,
And
true,
Inter
true.
Milan is full of EPL rejects,
Yeah,
Premier League rejects.
yeah.
So yeah,
Damian plays for Inter Milan as well.
Damian, Sanchez,
Yeah,
Alex Young, all the Man United rejects are there.
yeah, yeah,
Ericsson and
yeah.
all of these people.
So with that, we'll finally finish off with the last game and a big game that was Bayern versus Atletico Madrid.
Oh, what a thrashing, dude.
Bayern 4-0 thrashing. Oh my God.
And one of the best defensive sides,
Yeah,
Atletico Madrid. 4-0,
exactly.
absolute mauling.
Atletico could have considered even more. Bayern was like, okay, the fourth's enough. Let's just go home. We have other games to play.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Let's play bigger teams and thrash them 8-2 and all of that stuff. That's
Exactly.
their ideology.
And Kingsley Coman, oh my God, what a player.
Yeah.
Oh,
He is a potential replacement for Sancho.
yeah,
United, I did read somewhere that, United board is looking to sign Coman.
true. But I mean, what a player. I think he's been plagued by injury. I think that is the reason why the hype behind Coman was disappeared after he moved from
Yeah,
Juventus
and
to Bayern.
he's always been that super sub,
Yeah,
right? Him not getting enough game time has never depreciated the fact that okay, his form is dipped or his class is vanished or all that. He's
true,
always
true,
maintained that consistency in his form,
true.
and he's always shown that time and again he's come out and proved that I have the talent. Give me more time, and I will show you why you have to sign me or why you have to keep me in your first 11, top 11.
Exactly. But again, Bayern, they are the European champions right now. So I don't know if this year they'll be able to retain it. But they
Yeah,
still look like a damn good team, dude. They don't. They. I don't. They, I don't. I mean, I don't think they're showing any kind of weakness this year. So
they did lose 4-0 to Hoffenheim.
yeah, I mean,
And
that's the
and
that's the
also in the
league
following
game.
games they are conceding a lot of goals,
Yeah,
but
true,
they're
true, true.
scoring, I think, 2 or 3 times more the goals they're conceding as well.
Yeah, I
So,
think the influence of Thiago we can clearly see absent from Bayern
yeah.
this season. But they still have so many good players. Grotesque, Leon, what's his name? Grotesque. What is his name? How do you pronounce? Goretzka.
Goretzka.
Kimmich,
Dude,
Joshua
Goretzka
Kimmich.
just looks like a hitman, dude.
Yeah.
Goretzka just looks like one of the assassins.
And they have one of the best, you could say, one of the best or the best midfielder in the world, the Kimmich. I mean, he's not a midfielder, he's a right back, but he plays like a midfielder.
Yeah, he can play anywhere
Yeah,
on the field. That's the
exactly.
versatility Kimmich
Yeah, one of the
brings on
most
the table.
precise passer of the in the football game that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
oh my
just looks
God.
like a baby, like. But
Yeah,
you will never expect that he can play so well. He's
and
just that baby face
he's
assassin.
still so young. He's kind of like what we have in the Premier League, like Trent. He's like that
Yeah.
with his passes and all.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God, he's such an amazing player.
So let's quickly wrap up with the predictions for Premier League
Yeah,
because I have
but
another call today.
before that, I wanted to talk about something else. Okay, and that is, I don't know if you have heard about this, but there are a lot of talks going on about a European Super League.
Okay.
Do you know about this?
No.
Okay. Don't you know anything about it? I thought you would have already known about this.
I might have heard of it if you give me the details.
So I think we spoke about big picture in the last two episode, right? We
Project
spoke
Big
about,
Picture,
yeah,
yeah.
and I think I slightly mentioned there, because of this big owners there, this big project picture, a big project, and also this European Super League might be something that might come into fruition. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Like a
so
Champions League for all the big teams.
exactly. So now they're actually,
I've heard of this concept, but I
yeah.
don't know the details about it.
So now they are full on pushing for the European Premier League or the European Super League. I don't know what exact the name is.
So there will be
So
no Champions League or what?
yeah. So right now, again, this plan or this proposal is being backed by Liverpool's owner John W. Henry and the Glazers again. And but the reason why this is a lot more serious than the big project was because big project was only the owners who were trying to pressure the FA and the Premier League and also getting other teams into their corner so that they could pass this. But this time, the Glazers and John W. Henry have the backing of FIFA, and JP Morgan have stepped into the picture saying that they'll invest $6 billion into this tournament. So they have some serious
Wow.
backing in this. So this might be something that could actually come true. So the whole gist of what is going on right now, if the people don't know what's going on behind the scenes with the European Super League or the European Premier League, is JP Morgan have come out and said that they will actually fund the tournament and they will give out $6 billion. That is 4.6 million pound, a billion pounds. And of course, John W. Henry and Glazers are the ones who are behind it, and they have gotten the backing of FIFA to organize this tournament. So basically, how this tournament would be is 18 teams in this tournament. So 5 or 6 would be from the Premier League, like the ones that I mentioned in the big picture project. So those teams would be in the in the tournament. I mean, it's still not sure how many teams from the Premier League might be. Like the ones that are for sure would be Liverpool, City, United, Chelsea, and maybe Arsenal, and maybe Tottenham. That's not for sure, but the 4 or 5 teams are for sure in the tournament, and also Bayern, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus. All these teams would be there. So this tournament would consist of 18 teams, and no one would get relegated. And no team
What?
no team
Okay.
can get relegated for 20 years.
Okay. Is that something like IPL where you played for like a
Yeah,
certain period
exactly,
of time
exactly. Yeah,
and
you gain
finally you
points.
have playoffs and you win?
Exactly, like a knockout tournament between the top 4 or the top 6 teams, and then one team wins the entire thing.
Okay. Is this tournament a direct replacement for Champions League
Exactly.
or
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just
It's a
so
direct
they're going to
replacement.
scrap Champions League?
Yeah. That's the plan. That's the plan.
Oh wow. I thought
Yeah.
this is just another addition to the footballing
No.
schedule.
This is a
Oh,
direct
this is
replacement
ridiculous. This is
because
even worse than what I mean, Project Big Picture.
yeah, because right now when you think about it, I mean Champions League. I mean the football schedule is already packed. Like a lot of people are saying that the players need even more rest. So there is no way in hell you could add this into the mix that we already have, right? Because this tournament would include 30 more games into the schedule. So you have to scrap the Champions League
No.
for this.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That is
So
just so sad, dude.
so
That's
this is
just so
a
sad. I
direct
mean, I can't
replacement.
believe.
Direct replacement.
And when are they when are they planning on rolling this out?
2022.
2021?
2022.
22.
22. So right now
So if I don't think if you can do anything if FIFA has approved it.
No. So right now, FIFA takes care of all the international stuff, okay? But the Champions League is taken care by UEFA. So UEFA are completely against it. Yeah, because Champions League is their highest revenue grossing tournament, so they can't be without it. But you never know if there could be some kind of shady shit going on behind the doors where they get paid by the.
It's actually win-win for UEFA if you look at it, because all the top teams in the world only are going to play, and like when all the top teams are playing, I think at least half of the world is going to watch them play. So I mean, the revenue is still there for UEFA.
Yeah.
So
No, but the thing is, UEFA and FIFA have already been at each other's necks. What if one team agrees at something, the other team doesn't agree in that subject at all. So they're like polar opposites. Like if FIFA is in this, that means UEFA usually like tries to goes against it, because they know that FIFA is already a proper corrupt organization, and UEFA is kind of there, not fully there, kind of there. So I mean, those two don't get along whenever it comes to any kind of subject. So if FIFA is into something, then it's highly I highly doubted that UEFA will be into the same thing as well. But the money, the way that people are talking about this, it's very scary, because it kind of feels like even the owners and all the other influential people are actually talking to UEFA as well to get into it. Yeah, and so it's not going to be like the Champions League. It's not going to be like the Champions League where the top 4, top 5 get qualified, whoever it may be, top 4, top 5. So for example, if they
then there is no motivation to play your domestic league.
Exactly.
Like usually the motivation is to finish in the top 4 and qualify for the Champions League.
Yeah. So right now, if they give out all the 18 teams that are gonna be in the tournament, those teams, no matter if you finish last or first, no matter whatever happens, you are gonna be in that tournament for 20 years, and there's not gonna be any change in that tournament.
And suppose Man United tomorrow gets relegated out of the Premier League, they'll still be there?
Yeah, they'll still be in the European Super League.
Wow, like even if United are playing in the Championship,
even if you are playing in the Champions League, even if you are playing in the Champions League.
That is just absolutely ridiculous. This is the craziest thing. This is even crazier than the Project Big Picture.
And also, it doesn't even matter. Like, for example, if Leicester City, or even forget about Leicester City, if Aston Villa win the Premier League, they are not allowed into the European Super League. Because the European Super League, it's all about the 18 teams there.
That's madness. This is 100 times worse than the Project Big Picture.
Exactly. And this is exactly like how NFL teams and NBA teams are. In the NFL teams or in the NFL table, it's just all this proper 18 or 10 teams, however, how much ever it may be. I don't watch NFL, but there are certain number of teams and no one gets relegated, no one gets promoted. It's just that all of them have to fight it out year after year after year. And that's what they're trying to do football. They're trying to Americanize the football.
This is why, I mean, like the concept of democracy doesn't even apply to the field of sports.
Nothing.
Which is one of the most fairest form of whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's just so sad to see this, man.
And also, like, imagine the financial aspect of it, because the teams that are going to participate in this are going to receive millions of pounds. And the teams that win
the rich will only get richer. The rich will only get richer.
And the gap between the teams even in the domestic league will increase drastically.
I mean, like, even the Premier League won't be exciting, because the lower level teams would have no motivation or no incentive to compete for the mid tables or top 4 spot.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew of this concept where all the superpowers of the football league world will come together, and there was this additional league that will be held only for like the top teams. But I didn't know it was a direct replacement for Champions League. This just baffles me completely.
It's supposedly a direct replacement of Champions League. Like, I mean, forget about like the teams having motivation. motivation to play for the title. I mean, they wouldn't even have the financial structure
Yeah.
to compete with them to begin with.
Exactly.
Forget the
And
motivation.
like lower level teams being promoted to Champions League and them competing, getting Champions League exposure brings a lot of revenue to them.
Yeah, true.
You're just cutting that channel off for them. You're just
Exactly.
cutting that stream for them.
I mean,
Which is
look
so
at
sad.
Leicester City. After winning the title, it transformed that club.
Yeah, after the title winning season, I think they've had 2 or 3 seasons in the Champions League.
Exactly.
Two
Yeah.
seasons, I think.
Yeah.
And that would have gotten them a whole new level of exposure and a whole new, like, it's another revenue avenue for generating new revenue.
I mean, there are so many examples. Them Wolves in the Europa League as well. There are so many examples like that. Tottenham too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chalo. We'll do the predictions quickly.
Yeah. So with that, we'll do the predictions. So there are some good games coming up.
For this for game week 6 in the
Yeah.
Premier League.
Yeah. So in this game week, Stephen, so the first match in this game week is Aston Villa versus
Aston Villa and Leeds.
Leeds United.
Oh man, that's tough.
Yeah.
Fucking tough.
What do you think?
I think Leeds should have won the Wolves game because they clearly created a lot more chances and had a lot of shots on target and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I feel they should have won. Oh, this is tough, dude, because Aston Villa have been really good.
Yeah. What do you think is gonna happen?
I don't know. I'm just gonna give it a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw?
Yeah.
Don't you think Leeds might be able to, like put pressure on them and get something away from them?
Yeah, they can, but Villa have been amazing defensively.
Yeah.
Villa have been really good. Very few. They've considered very few shots on target.
Yeah.
So that just goes on to show how good they've been.
True. So you would say draw, right?
Yeah, 1-1 draw maybe.
Yeah, I would say Aston Villa for the win. I would say because they have injured. Because I think their captain is missing.
Even I wanted to say Aston Villa.
Yeah.
But then I think Leeds will have the intensity because of the insane press they have.
Yeah.
And they can convert 1 or maybe even 2 goals. But I think it can be a draw, or it could even turn out to be a high-scoring draw. You never know.
I would say Aston Villa for the win because there is one player named Jack Grealish who might be able to skip away from their press. So that'd be fun to watch. So with that, moving on to the next one, West Ham versus Manchester City.
Let's do quickly. Let's Chuma do quickly. West Ham, man.
Manchester City.
City, easy City.
City?
Yeah.
Don't you think David Moyes has a chance here?
No chance. City.
Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, so the big game, Manchester United versus Chelsea.
Oh, that's tough. This again is such a tough choice to make.
Yeah.
I know United have done well in the last 2 games, but I don't want to ride on that confidence.
But Chelsea haven't done well as well, so think about that.
Yeah, that also I'm contemplating that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, just this is from the heart, so I'll give this to United.
Yeah, I would go logically and pragmatically looking at the results of the 2 teams in those 2 games. I would say United for sure. If Tuanzebe starts, I would say maybe we have a chance for sure. Yeah, and maybe I want to see Van de Beek as well.
Yeah, I mean, all the United fans want to see him start.
Yeah, exactly. So moving on with the next one, that is Liverpool versus Sheffield United.
Liverpool.
Yeah. Because Sheffield United is not a...
Sheffield might pull back maybe 1 or 2 goals.
Yeah.
And Ryan Brewster might start for Sheffield because he's playing his former team.
Yeah.
But I think Liverpool will easily win this.
Yeah, true. Because Sheffield don't even score a lot of goals as well.
Yeah.
Correct. So Liverpool for the win for sure.
Yes.
Next, I would say Southampton versus Everton.
Oh, this is again going to be an interesting game because Southampton have done well.
Yeah.
But they play such high line of defense.
Yeah.
So I think I'll give this to Everton.
Yeah, because I would say Everton are still in their form.
You can't. I mean, it's debatable because I saw the news a few hours ago, and James is out for the game.
Oh.
James has taken up a knock,
okay.
And Richarlison is not there. So 2 of their talismanic people are not there. So it's just Calvert-Lewin and the midfielders. So I don't know.
Maybe it could be a tough. Yeah, maybe it could be a good tough day. Yeah, maybe. And also Southampton have that euphoria from coming back from against Chelsea.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, correct.
So that could be.
So people who have James in their teams, you can look for options because James definitely is not playing tomorrow's game.
True. That would be good. Yeah. So moving on to the next one, another big game, that is Arsenal versus Leicester City. What do you think is going to happen?
Uh, uh, Arsenal have been pretty underwhelming in their last two games. I mean, uh, they look like they can either like their tactics is like a concern of either a hit or miss. So I don't know. Maybe a draw.
Maybe a draw?
Like Leicester, I don't think they'll do well without Vardy. So it
Yeah,
should
but
be a
Leicester
draw.
have been pretty poor. They lost two. They have lost their
Yeah,
last two games.
they badly need Vardy.
Yeah. So you think a
So
draw? You're
maybe a
still going
draw.
with a draw?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, then I'll go for an Arsenal win because I think they in the slightly edge over Leicester. I
Yeah,
think.
that's the safest option, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me take a gamble and give it a draw.
Yeah. So that's our prediction for this match day. And
This
hopefully
was
United
fun.
win. Hopefully United win. Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That game is going to be quite interesting
yeah, and
because defensively Chelsea also have had chinks in their armor, and they have not there have been severe cracks in their defense.
true.
I don't see them keeping a clean sheet at least for some time now.
Yeah.
So I think both teams are going to go all out attack wise. So it should be a fun game.
Yeah, and I hope that European Super League, never comes into reality.
Yeah, that never comes to fruition.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
will be a sad day for football fans.
That could potentially be the end of football. Like for sure, I think a lot of fans will stop watching football for sure after that. Just like a lot of
it's quite rewarding for fans because it's like you're talking about the top teams playing. So who wouldn't want to see that?
yeah, but still there won't be any competition in football. Like it'd be so boring.
That fairness won't be there.
Yeah, exactly. Like
The aspect of democracy or fairness is completely taken out of it.
yeah, I mean there is a reason why the Premier League is the most exciting league in the world, right? I mean look at Liverpool get beaten by a team like Aston Villa 7-2. That's the most
7-2,
exciting
yeah.
thing. Yeah, Spurs beat us 6-1. Stuff like that. That is what makes people excited about the league.
Correct.
Where everything can happen.
Yeah.
So I hope it stays. There's a saying, right? If something's not broken, don't fix it.
What?
Yeah,
If something's not broken,
don't fix it.
don't fix. Okay. I think I got it now.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
So with that awesome nugget that I just dropped, hope you guys
mind
enjoyed
blowing
this
that
episode.
was.
Yeah, that was just okay. So with that, we'll end this episode. We'll see you in the next one. See ya.
Peace. Bye bye.